I would like to welcome the Honourable Consul, Doreen, who has flown in especially for this event. It's really great that you could come and share this with us here in New Zealand today. We know that you had a fantastic time last week on March the 8th on International Women's Day when you launched it in the Solomons. We've heard a lot about that and no doubt you'll tell us some more. So thank you for making that effort, Doreen. It's really great of you to do that. We acknowledge that.
I had to say that when I went and saw my bosses in Honiara and told them that I was coming to talk here and to launch this book, one of them said to me, it is so appropriate that it is a woman who's going over there to launch it. And they said, that's the reason why we made you the honorary consul over there. Anyway, hemi good fala tumas for looking you fala, and thank you tumas for sakaloi fala kamno here. Me like welcoming you fala. And meet the kam ogata greetings lo ogata woman lo Solomon Island lo you fala. And him no more by me tell him lo pidgin lo you fala, and by me just talk no more a little bit about this fella book and ogata woman lo Solomon Islands. I've just greeted you in pidgin English and welcome everybody. Being the honorary consul for Solomon Islands to New Zealand, it is a privilege with special pride to undertake the task to introducing this book, being the first. I'm not featured in it at the moment, but they told me that there's going to be some more books coming after this, so who knows. My brief is simply to present this book to you. This book contains life stories of 16 women who have come through courageously and took their leadership place in public life in the Solomon Islands. Like them, I also held prominent positions in both the private and public sectors. I see we have some women from Solomon Islands who have done the same, but they are now leaders here in the community in New Zealand. I went through the same schools as some of these women and ended up getting a scholarship and gained an overseas education as well. In our days, there were only choices for women. There were only two choices for women who left school. You either became a teacher or a nurse. When I went back to the Solomons after my overseas education, I found that I could do other things as well. Where my family lived, there was a primary school there, and the principal hadn't been to have his holiday on his island, which was a long way away on Santa Isabel, for about 5 years. And he approached me and said, Doreen, you've just come back from Australia. How about taking over my primary school while I go on my holidays? And I looked at him and I said, I'm not even a trained teacher. He said, that doesn't matter. It's very simple. You just teach the children the basics through their history books and social studies and so forth. And I took on from there for about 6 months. And he came back. So I then ended up going to a clerical school and learned to be a secretary. Like these women, working alongside our male counterparts was at times difficult. I remember an incident where I was asked by my boss to tell the filing clerk to bring in some folders that had never been seen for a number of years. To which the clerk said to me, I'm not going to be told by a woman to get these things. Can you go and tell somebody else to come and tell me what the story is about these folders? I'm glad to say today women of the Solomons have broken some of these barriers. Being the first also carries the images of women as examples to others in the Pacific Island region. We can be equally capable of reaching greater heights in the public service or in public life. To young girls out there, take the hard road and follow it through. To my Solomon Island Women One Talks, especially to all here, it is my pleasure and privilege to launch this book, being the first. I hope you will read it with pleasure and pride.